Howdy, Greeble-Gunk podcast. Right now I want to talk about the style meter from Ultrakill because I think it's a very interesting thing that the way Ultrakill has this style meter. So basically, a summary of what the style meter even is, if you don't know, um, based off of you playing the game, like you getting weapon combos, killing things in general. You get a score. You get a number of points, and the higher the points you get, the higher your style rank is, starting from destructive, which is the lowest, to chaotic, brutal, anarchic, supreme, sadistic, shitstorm, and then ultrakill, which is the highest one. But not only is it a way to keep score in the game, it's a really interesting way to encourage the player to get better and experiment with a lot of weapons. For example, the higher your score, I have to explain this first. There's a mechanic in the game called hard damage, where it basically temporarily limits your max health. So, you can't heal as much, and you're at more risk of dying. And the higher your style rank, the faster your hard damage goes away, allowing you to heal back up to full health. So, like, at destructive, it goes down at the normal amount. But at ultra kill, the highest one, hard damage just doesn't exist. It just goes away instantly. So, I mean, the better you play, the less you have to worry about taking damage and getting hard damage and limiting your max health. Another thing that's so great about it is there's all kinds of there's not the modifiers, the style bonuses, that's what they're called, that encourage you to experiment more and get more skilled with your weapons and try out all kinds of combinations and things you could do. For example, there's basic stuff like killing the enemy or killing multiple enemies, and then there's also stuff like ricochet, where ricocheting a revolver or ricocheting a bullet from your revolver off of a coin that you throw, and that does more damage. So, and it's encouraging you to do it more by giving you more points for doing it. For trying out new things, shooting enemies with nails and then shooting it with the electric rail cannon, making them explode. Using nails and magnets and just punching your shotgun shells, enraging enemies. You get points for going out of bounds, blowing them up in the air, burning enemies to death, quickly swapping between weapons, killing enemies with all kinds of stuff. Your cannonball has stage hazards. It just encourages you to use your environment or use all the weapons at your disposal to try and get as high as a score as possible. There's also the stale meter, which the more you use a weapon, the less score you'll get. So, for example, there's fresh, which is the top. You get 2 times the points. And you get 2 times the points for using it, and it decays down to used or stale and dull, which is no points for using it. But it basically just encourages you to use different weapons instead of sticking with the same thing every time. Because sure, the shotgun is powerful, but there's all kinds of other combinations that you can do with other weapons, and it wants you. The game is trying to encourage you to use those and not just stick with the shotgun the entire time. I think it's a really smart way of encouraging you to do that and making sure the player doesn't stick with the same weapons the entire time, because you need to get enough points to P rank the level so you can unlock secrets, the secret bosses and stuff later in the game. So if you want to unlock those, you have to be playing and using multiple weapons. It also encourages movement and staying in the air and sliding with the multiplier. Whether you're on a rocket, flying around, just staying in the air, or sliding, or like hanging on the walls, grappling between enemies, your multiplier will go up to 3 times. You get 3 times the points. But it is just encouraging you to keep moving around and stay off the ground, because as soon as you touch to the ground, it decays really fast down to the normal 1 times instead of the 3. And it just encourages you to use movement more and more, and not just stay in the same place, by giving you more points for moving around. There's also, it reduces your style with getting hit. So getting hit, let's say you just 25 damage, you lose 125 points of style. You lose 5 times whatever damage you take. And it just encourages you to move around and not stand still, because if you keep getting hit, you're not going to gain as much style. You're going to take more hard damage and die faster. You're not going to get those bonuses for killing enemies. So you can also buy weapons with the points. You buy weapons and skins. So like you get alternate weapons for your revolver. So your basic is just a piercer, and then an alternate is like you spin the revolver and it bounces off of walls and pierces through enemies. And then there's the coins that you can ricochet bullets off of. And you need style for those kinds of weapons. So you need to try and get style, try and not get hit, and all that. But it's a very interesting way of teaching the player how to be better, by not punishing it, really, because you can play the game without style. You don't need it to complete the game. It's just suggested because there's a lot of benefits to playing with style. But it's positive reinforcement for playing and doing fancy things and learning how to get the most out of your weapons. Because, like I said, there's all the stale and movement, teaching you to move around and to swap weapons more and to use each one at your disposal instead of just relying on one weapon entirely as a crutch, or not learning how to use the other ones. And it just teaches you how to play the game really well. All of it. Just everything. It's a really great method that, I don't know if it should be used in other games in the exact same way, because the entire vibe of it is kind of designed to fit Ultrakill, but it fits really well in the game, and it's very good at what it does. Greeble-Gunk.